Hi, welcome to Trailers from Hell. I'm John Landis, and today we're going to look at the trailer for the T.A.M.I show, which is pretty cool because I was there at the Santa Monica Civic in 1964 to see the concert, Teenage America Music International. Here's the trailer for the T.A.M.I show, and one of those kids out there is moi. Okay, T.A.M.I is coming. Look at that. That's what we look like, kids. This is 1964. And I went to Emerson Junior High, which is right behind the Mormon Temple on Santa Monica Boulevard. And one of the girls, I've forgotten her name, but one of the girls' father produced this. There's the Beach Boys. And so the entire 7th grade went. David Cassidy was in my class. He was there. It was hosted by Jan and Dean. And actually, you know what's cool? One of these go-go girls is Terry Garr. When you watch this, they're so sexy, these go-go girls, and they never stop dancing for like 2.5 hours. There's Jan and Dean. There were Chuck Berry. The guy who blew me away, though, was James Brown and Fabulous Flames. I'd never seen anything like that before. This was one of the first U.S. performances of the Rolling Stones, who were kind of boring after James Brown. But I loved Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, Little Stevie Wonder. The guy, also Jerry and the Pacemakers, who were much bigger stars than the Rolling Stones at this time. The Supremes. This was an astonishing show with constant screaming. And you'll notice, look at the speakers, because this is before stadium speakers. Now, Leslie Gore, believe it or not, was the biggest star there. She got the biggest ovation. She was the hottest act. But what I like about this, it shows this time in music which was extraordinary in its diversity. You have surf music, British music, pop music, soul music, Motown, all these different movements. Look at that. There's Marvin Gaye and Dean of Jan and Dean. It's unbelievable. These guys, look how good he looks. They're all behind Leslie Gore. James Brown was amazing, though. Here he is. This is the first time I ever saw him, and I got to know him pretty well. He was astonishing, and this is probably the greatest film performance of James. And what they did is, this was Electrovision. It was broadcast to theaters, they used to do that with, there I am. Oh, they used to do this with prize fights. He's saying, please, please. And that's the same guy. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, I forgot them. This was just one of the great nights. I was just Billy J. Kramer and the Dakotas get billing above the Barbarians and the Supremes. This is before Diana Ross and the Supremes. Here they are. Here's Mick Jagger looking 12 years old. We just thought, who is this English twerp? Bring James Brown back on the stage. This was really terribly exciting. I can't tell you. It was the two greatest music shows I ever saw. One was this, because I think it was one of the first. I saw the Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl, but I couldn't hear them. So you could hear them in this theater, so that was good. There I am again. 2 solid hours of those girls dancing in bikinis. And one of them is Terry Garr. I wonder where she is. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. God, it was a great show. It was a great show. It was so exciting. Thank you for watching Trailers from Hell. If you're interested in pursuing trailers or seeing more trailers, you can go to www.trailersfromhell.com, where there's a great deal of cool stuff.